If you're stuck in a cycle of one-off sales, wondering why customers don't come back, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to create lifetime customers using one powerful system. Let me show you why this is the most profitable thing that you could be doing in your business. On the left, you have one and done customers. You sell them, they leave, you have to find new customers every month. On the right, you have lifetime customers. They buy again, they refer others, you pay once to acquire them, and they keep paying you for years. Now let's get into some math to really understand this. Company A, right? One and done customers, 1,000 customers at $200 to acquire the customer, that's $200,000 in costs. Then let's say we do $300,000 in revenue from them, minus the $200,000 it is to acquire them, you're left with $100,000 at the end of that year. Then the next year, you have to restart again and restart again. Now, companies that have lifetime customers, you still spend the $200,000 to acquire them. Year one is the same $300,000, but let's see where this gets interesting. If we could get 50% of them to stay every year, year two, we get $150,000 off that first year customers plus $300,000. Now you're doing $450K. Not to mention, this $150K, you didn't have to spend anything extra to make that money. That goes right to the bottom line. Year three, you have that first group, you get $75,000 from them, $150,000 from the second group, plus another $300,000. That's $525,000. This compounds over time, stacking on top of each other till your company becomes a complete machine. Even without adding more customers, the first 1,000 brings in around $600,000 in lifetime revenue. That's 3 times your spend to acquire them. Keep adding new customers every year, and you could see this revenue compounds fast. That's how companies like Nike, Amazon, and Apple do it. You spend once, and they keep you coming back and back and back. If you don't know me, my name is Angelo. I've built and sold 4 companies and helped over 400 businesses turn one-time buyers into lifetime customers using this easy system. All right, first, we start with who. Who are we trying to keep forever? Because if you're trying to target broke people that bounce every time the rent is due, it's not going to be good for you. We need to start with who. And the who starts with an ideal customer profile. Now, there's 3 parts of your ideal customer profile: demographics, geographics, and psychographic. Demographics are first. So how old are they? Male or female? How much income they make? What's their job, profession, things like that. Those are demographic. Next is geographics. Where are they located? What state are they in? Is it national, international? Where do they live? Where can we find them? And last is psychographics. Now, for me, this is the most important one out of all these. This is how they think. What's their motivations? Are they cheap? Do they want a premium product? You need to understand how they're thinking, because this is not only who you're selling to, but how you're marketing to them. So you have to understand that profile. It's not about selling to everybody. You need to focus on one clear avatar so that everything in your company, from marketing, sales, and operations, has a flow to it, and you know who you're trying to satisfy. Let me show you how this worked with a client of mine. I have a client that's doing about $40 million a year in the trucking industry, but they may have well been driving through a fog because they had no ICP defined. They were trying to sell to anybody with a pulse. Once we hit the bullseye, their quarterly revenue went up 15%. Just in one quarter, 15%. Here's what we came up with. Mid-sized to large companies with complex dry freight needs, particularly in the automotive and manufacturing sectors, spending $5 million or more annually on transportation, seeking safe, reliable, and transparent carrier partnerships. It changed everything for them. Like I said, it beat their quarterly revenue goal by 15%, and now they're really trucking. Want clarity on exactly who you should be selling to? Don't just think about your ideal customer, document it. Download the Lifetime Customer Blueprint below. Plug and play tools, AI prompts, everything you need to define your ideal customer in under 10 minutes. Once you have your ideal customer defined, next it's time to move into why. Why should anyone be buying from you versus the 9,000 competitors out there? What makes you unique? Now comes in our compelling value proposition. Now, this is how you stand out in the marketplace. So I want you to think about this right now and just reflect. Do you have a guarantee? Do you offer special results? Do you have a special process? What makes your company different than every other one out there? And for some companies, believe it or not, this isn't that easy to articulate till you figure this out. So it's good that you start thinking about this now. But what makes you unique? Once you understand what makes you unique, it's time to stack it on 4 different angles that all businesses fall in. First is cost. Are you the cheapest? This is sort of like Walmart. Next is innovation. Can they buy something from you that no one else could have in the world? No one else makes it? This is sort of like Apple. Next is customer service. What do you do that makes it better for the customer, a little bit different for the customer than going to another company next door? And last is status. Does this make people look and feel a certain way? This is like luxury goods are like Rolls Royce, but start thinking about what makes your company stand out, what makes us different, how are we better than our competitors, and really start focusing on those areas that separate you from everybody else. Once you have your compelling and value proposition, you plug it into a formula. We help our ICP get X results with unique method without pain. This really helps you understand who you're targeting, how you help them, what makes you unique, and what pain they're avoiding. A business without a clear value proposition is like a band where each musician is playing their own music. The louder they play, the more noise they make, and the crowd leaves. When everyone's on the same sheet of music, people don't just listen, they dance. This reminds me of a client of mine, an entertainment company that has revolutionized how DJs play at weddings. Now they've expanded their business into corporate events and AV. They brought me in to work on structure and processes, and we started with the sales team. When I walked in there, I had met with each of the salespeople, and I asked them, what makes this company unique? Guess what? Everybody had different answers. Sort of like that story I was saying in the very beginning. Everyone was playing a little different music. That's a big red flag. That means that prospects are getting mixed messages. And also that means marketing wasn't lining up either. So we dug in and did the work. We reviewed their surveys. We called up their best customers. We looked at what everyone thought made the company unique, and we came up with this wonderful, compelling value proposition. At the company, we craft the perfect musical atmosphere that reflects your personality, backed by seasoned professionals who value the importance of every event. We ensure a seamless and worry-free experience. They're on track to break the $3 million barrier this year because they don't just play music. They sell and deliver a consistent, clear, and compelling proposition. If your team can't give the answer to what makes you unique in one sentence, you don't have a value proposition. Build one and watch your sales rhythm fall into place. Not sure what makes your offer compelling? Stop blending in and start standing out. Inside the Lifetime Customer Blueprint, you'll find everything you need to refine your compelling value proposition so that you, your team, and everyone around you knows what makes you stand out and separates you from the rest of your competition. Now let's talk about the journey, because funnels make people buy once, journeys keep people forever. There's 6 stages. Each is a chance to reduce friction and focus on what makes you unique. First is awareness. How do you find them? How do they hear about you? Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, email. Where are you building awareness? And what type of awareness are you building? Next is interest. Are you making them curious? Are you talking about their pain? Are you really touching on their problems? Is your lead magnet or front offer something compelling for them? Is it really magnetic? Next is consideration. Are you good at overcoming objections? Do you have social proof and testimonials and case studies so that people are considering buying from you? Now comes time of purchase. Is your checkout simple? Is it easy to understand? Is it easy to buy from you? Next is delivery of your product or service. Do they feel special when they buy from you? Is there good onboarding? Is there an extra little gift in there? Is it something worth remembering? And last is delight and retention. Do you follow up? Do you make them family? Do you ask for referrals? Are you being intentional in each of these stages? And now that you know your ideal customer, what makes you unique, you could focus deep in each and every one of these stages. You know exactly where they should be located, where they are, so you could build awareness. You should know their pain points and troubles so that you could pique their interest. You should have case studies and social proof and ways to overcome their objections during consideration. You should be delighting them when they're purchasing. It should be nice and smooth. When they're being delivered your service, it should feel like they won the lottery. And for delight and retention, are you staying in contact with them? Are you building rapport? Are you making them feel special? Now, when you look throughout this whole process, it's really interesting. We have marketing, advertising, sales, operations, and retention. This is how you transform into a customer-centric organization. Notice these stages don't just stop at marketing or sales. They're everywhere. Marketing, sales, advertising, operation. Each touch point is a true deposit or withdrawal. So you have to be intentional about each one of these stages. And that's what keeps customers coming back and referring people to you and turning into lifetime customers. Because every stage of their journey, everything that they're experiencing in your company is unique. Because you know who their customer is, you know what makes them unique, and you know what they need in each of these stages. I used to think more customers would fix everything until I learned that retention is where the money really lives. If you're tired of starting every month at zero, it's time to build something smarter. The Lifetime Customer Blueprint is your shortcut to creating customers that stick, spend, and refer. Grab it below and let's build a brand that lasts. But having amazing customers is only half of the equation. You'll never go anywhere if you have a toxic team. Watch this video next so that you can not only learn how to have lifetime customers, but a lifetime team as well.